OMEGA have just quietly released one of the ugliest Seamaster divers I've ever seen. Maybe that's a bit hyperbolic, but from a design perspective, I really dislike this. And on top of that, I think OMEGA is using this flurry of Seamaster releases to quietly update the price of this model. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and on this channel we just talk all things watches. I am quite a big fan of OMEGA. In fact, my video that is set to release on Sunday is about my newest purchase from them. So this isn't coming from a place of disliking them, but rather feeling like they're in a bit of an awkward phase, and this watch is the epitome of it. Over the past few months, they have been releasing quite a few Seamaster Diver 300s, all with aluminum or aluminium bezels or experimental bezels like the titanium bezel and on a Milanese bracelet. This newest release follows that same formula. All of those aspects are still there, but this time being a bit more experimental with color, adding orange to the 12-369 indices and removing the iconic wave pattern from the dial. I gotta say, I really dislike this. It's hard for me to put into words how much I dislike the design choices that were made. And I'm saying all of this as a Philadelphia Flyers fan. Black and orange is our thing. I would whittle it down to two major problems. For one, I wish that they put orange on all the hour markers or none, probably best if it's none. Let the Seamaster text at 12 o'clock remain orange, seconds hand orange, love it, but it is a bit much the way that it is in my very boring classical opinion. And my second big problem is that orange is a color that I so heavily associate with the planet Ocean. I don't like the branding getting mixed up on an already confusing line with both technically being Seamasters. But maybe that's just me being a little bit grumpy. It probably is me being grumpy. But what is this channel if not me being angry about things that don't really matter? Although I could rag on this all day, for me this opens up a far more interesting discussion around the OMEGA pricing structure. As I said earlier, they've been releasing quite a few Seamasters as of late that are just a little bit different. Different bracelets, less premium bezel materials, and no date, which also comes with a different movement, the caliber 8806. This movement is still technically great, so MEDAS certified, 55 hours of power reserve, and of course the use of the coaxial escapement. This is their no-date central seconds hand movement that is also present in the far more affordable Railmaster. So I would argue even further that this has a less premium bezel material, no date complication, and a more simple movement. You would think that these cost less than the regular Seamaster Diver, but here in the UK, they are £600 more expensive. Even if we wanted to play devil's advocate and suggest it is because of the Milanese bracelet on the rubber strap, it is still more expensive than the bog standard Seamaster Diver 300. I feel like this is going to sound so cynical of me, but it's the only way I can make sense of the pricing structure is that OMEGA is using this flurry of Seamasters that have been coming out as of late to up the price of the standard Seamaster in a way that feels somewhat justified. And to be fair, I think it would be okay for them to up the price of the Seamaster Diver. Not as high as these are, but something a little bit more in line with inflation. I've been keeping an eye on the Seamaster prices for a couple of years now, and they've remained £5,600 here in the UK for the last couple of years. I think if they upped it to £5,700 or £5,800, it would be completely justified. Although there is something really good about the number of 5,600. It sounds just expensive and just premium enough for it to be a luxury, important, special purchase, and just affordable enough that it still is a great value proposition. I think the current price hits a sweet spot, and it might be one of the reasons why it's one of the most popular luxury watches out there. I think OMEGA has gone to great lengths to protect the Seamaster price to have it be a great value entry-level luxury watch and that perfect gateway into the brand. Anyways, guys, those are just some of my thoughts about the newest quiet releases from OMEGA and my thoughts on their current pricing structures. As always, I want to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you down there. And now, poke to your patrons. Get their names on the screen.